Wow, it feels like you blink and there's another massive AI leap forward. This week, well, OpenAI definitely got everyone talking with their latest release.
Absolutely, it's nonstop.
So today, we're going to dig into GPT-5. We've got the transcript from their big Introducing GPT-5 launch event. It's full of details, demos, lots to unpack.
Yeah, our mission here is really to cut through the noise,
Yeah.
to figure out what GPT-5 actually means for you.
Right. What can it do? How is it really different from what came before?
And maybe most importantly, how might it change the way you actually work or learn or even just go about your day? We found some genuinely surprising things in there.
Some real aha moments, like you said. Okay, so to start, let's talk about how OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, kind of frames this whole evolution. He had this great analogy.
Oh yeah, the student analogy. He said GPT-3 was like a high schooler, sometimes brilliant, sometimes, well, annoying.
Yeah, I could see that. And GPT-4 was more like a college student.
Exactly. Smarter, more useful, more reliable. But GPT-5, this is where he says it's a whole different league.
Okay, so what's the leap?
He described it as talking to a legit PhD-level expert, but not just in one thing in basically any field you need whenever you need it.
Wow, okay. A PhD in your pocket.
Pretty much. And it's not just about facts. He emphasized the reasoning. How it seems to anticipate what you need next connects ideas. Almost like a thinking partner, not just an answer machine.
That really is a shift in perspective, and the potential reach is huge, right? They mentioned something like 700 million people using ChatGPT every week.
Yeah, the scale is incredible. And building on that, Altman introduced this idea he calls software on demand. That seems to be a core concept for this GPT-5 era.
Software on demand. So not just asking questions, but getting it to build stuff.
Precisely. Like, imagine just describing an app idea and it actually writes the code. Or planning a whole party and having it figure out and maybe even order the supply.
Okay, that's starting to sound like science fiction.
Well, or helping you understand complicated things, like healthcare choices or diving super deep into any topic you want to learn. He called it an incredible superpower on demand.
Making complex stuff accessible to anyone, basically.
Without needing to be an expert yourself, yeah.
So if it's really this THD level leap, what's actually changed under the hood? What's the big technical breakthrough? I heard them talk about a new reasoning paradigm.
That's a great question. Mark Chen, who's their chief research officer, talked about that, this reasoning paradigm. It basically means the model is designed to pause to think before giving an answer.
Pause to think, like it actually waits.
Not literally waits, no. It's more like an internal process. It does more complex kind of multi-step calculations or reasoning before it generates the output.
Oh, okay. So it's doing more work internally.
Right. And the goal with GPT-5 is to get rid of that old trade-off where you had to choose either a fast kind of standard answer or wait longer for a more thoughtful one.
So think smarter, but still fast.
That's the idea. It aims to think just the perfect amount to give you the perfect answer, making that deep reasoning much more readily available.
And a big part of being an expert is being reliable, isn't it? We've all seen AI get things wrong, the hallucinations.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial. Max Schwarzer talked about performance, and he was really clear. GPT-5 is designed to be the most reliable and accurate model in the world.
That's a bold claim. Why is nailing down those factual errors so important now?
Well, think about where AI is heading. It's moving into more critical areas, right? Max literally said it's by far our most reliable, most factual model ever.
So less making stuff up.
Exactly. Reducing those hallucinations is vital if you're using it for, say, legal research or understanding medical info or even complex coding tasks. You need to be able to trust it.
Reliability becomes non-negotiable then.
Absolutely. It means you can lean on it for important decisions more than ever before.
And they back this up with benchmark scores, showing how much smarter it is.
They did. And not just small bumps. In coding, for instance, it's setting new highs on tests like SwayBench, which uses real software engineering problems.
Technical coding tasks.
Yeah, and it's good across lots of different programming languages too, according to the AIDR Polyglot benchmark. For developers, that could mean way less time debugging.
What about general thinking?
New highs there too. On MMMU, which tests understanding visuals like what's happening in a picture, and it did exceptionally well on AIM 2025.
AIM? What's that?
It's a tough math reasoning exam, part of qualifying for the International Mathematical Olympiad, so that points to a much deeper grasp of logic and complex problems.
Wow, Math Olympiad level. That's serious.
Yeah.
And you mentioned sensitive areas, like health information.
Right. They described it as their most reliable model for health. It apparently scored really well on their internal health bench, which they developed with hundreds of physicians using real clinical tasks.
So what does that mean for me if I'm trying to understand, say, a confusing medical report?
It suggests you'd get a more trustworthy explanation. Better at handling complex medical policy, understanding patient conditions, maybe even summarizing dense scientific papers more accurately. It's about reliability where it really counts.
Okay, this sounds incredibly powerful. And the best part, they're making it widely available, right? What's the plan?
Yeah, Rainy Song laid it out. It's actually rolling out starting today for free users, plus users, and pro users.
Wait, free users get GPT-5, the top model.
For the first time, yes. Free users will start with GPT-5. Then, if they use it a lot, they'll transition to something called GPT-5 Mini.
How good is Mini?
Apparently, it still outperforms GPT-3, so still a big step up.
And for paid users.
Plus, users get much higher usage limits for GPT-5. Pro users get unlimited GPT-5, plus this extended thinking mode for really complex stuff where you need maximum reliability.
Okay, and businesses.
Enterprise and EDU. So education customers get access next week. It'll be the default model for them with generous limits.
That's a fast rollout. And importantly, do all the existing ChatGPT tools still work? Like uploading files, searching the web, data analysis?
Yep. All of it. Search, file, and image uploads, the Python data analysis tool, Canvas for diagrams, image generation, memory, custom instructions. It all just works with GPT-5.
So your current workflows just get a horsepower boost.
Exactly. No need to relearn everything. It's a seamless upgrade.
All right, let's get into the demos. This is where you really see what that PhD level expert thing means in practice. Elaine Yali showed off GPT-5 Pro's automatic thinking.
Yeah, that Bernoulli effect demo was fascinating. She called it like having a team of PhDs in your pocket.
So what happened?
Well, a simple question about the Bernoulli effect got a clear answer, as you'd expect. But then she asked for a detailed explanation and a moving SVG demo, like an interactive animation, right there in the Canvas tool.
And it could do that.
It paused that thinking step and then just started writing code. Hundreds of lines of React and Tailwind code, apparently, in about 2 minutes. And the resulting demo was interactive. You could change the airspeed, the angle of attack on a wing. It wasn't just telling you, it was showing you interactively.
That's amazing for learning complex ideas.
Totally. It makes learning feel so much more approachable and enjoyable, as she put it. It's like personalized, interactive textbook creation on the fly.
Okay, that's learning. What about creative tasks like writing? Christina Kaplan demoed improvements there.
Right. She said GPT-5 is a much more effective partner for writing. She actually had GPT-4 and GPT-5 write a eulogy for previous AI models.
A eulogy for old AI. That's
It fit meta, yeah. But the comparison was stark. GPT-4's was okay, functional. But GPT-5's, she said it had more rhythm and beat to its prose.
More human.
Exactly. It felt personal, it got the nuance, it was more genuine and emotionally resonant. She described it as feeling less like AI, more like chatting with a high IQ and EQ friend.
High EQ. Emotional intelligence. That's a big step.
It really is. It suggests the model understands subtext and feeling much better, which is huge for any kind of communication.
Okay, and then Yann Dubois showed off coding, calling GPT-5 the best coding model yet, even for non-coders. He built a French learning app.
Yeah, for his partner. And it wasn't just a simple app. It had daily progress tracking, flashcards, quizzes, even a custom game.
A game.
Yeah, like a snake game, but with a mouse and cheese. When the mouse eats the cheese, it voices a French word. And he built this without being a coder himself.
So it's really lowering the barrier to creating software.
That's the key takeaway. It could take his high-level ideas, generate different options, fix little issues he pointed out, and produce working, beautiful, and effective code. It really could bring coding power to everyone.
And the interaction itself is improving. Ruoxin Wang talked about voice and personalization.
Huge improvements there. The voice sounds incredibly natural, apparently. It can also use video input, so it sees what you see through your camera.
Sees what I see. How does that work?
Like you could point your phone camera at something and ask questions about it. Plus, smoother translation and this new study and learn mode.
What does study and learn mode do?
It guides you step by step. In the demo, they showed it helping someone practice Korean pronunciation. It could tell if they were saying it right and even adjust its own speaking speed.
Adapting speed. That's smart.
Yeah, slow for beginners, really, really fast for advanced learners. And more personalization is coming, things like custom chat colors and even different AI personalities.
Personalities.
Why?
Like sarcastic AI.
Apparently.
Hmm.
Supportive, professional, concise, sarcastic. You could choose one to match how you like to communicate. It's a research preview, but interesting.
And the memory's getting better, too.
Yeah, they said ChatGPT gets to know you more and more over time, learning what's important to you, which leads into the integrations.
Right. Christina Kaplan showed Gmail and Google Calendar integration. How does that make it more useful?
It becomes more of a proactive assistant. She showed it planning her schedule, finding emails she hadn't replied to, even generating a packing list based on her known preferences stored in its memory.
So it's using that memory to anticipate needs.
Exactly, making it more useful and more personal, less like a tool you command and more like a partner that helps manage things.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly powerful, but it brings up the safety question again. How are they managing the risks?
Yeah, Satya and Sebastian Bubek addressed that directly. They talked about overhauling safety training and mitigating deception. A key concept here is safe completion.
Safe completion. What's that?
Instead of just refusing a potentially problematic prompt, it tries to be as helpful as possible within safe boundaries.
How does that work in practice?
So maybe it gives a partial answer or a high-level one, or it explains why it can't fully answer and suggests safe alternatives.
Ah, okay, so it guides you rather than just blocking you.
Right. The example was asking for technical details about fireworks material. GPT-3 might just refuse. GPT-5 would explain the dangers and point you towards official safety guides or manufacturer info instead. More nuanced, more helpful, still safe.
That makes sense. And they mentioned a recursive improvement loop for safety.
Yeah, this was fascinating. They're using older models to help create better training data for the newer models, specifically focusing on the right kind of data to teach safety and helpfulness.
So the AI is helping train itself to be safer.
Essentially, yes. It creates this loop where each generation helps improve the safety alignment of the next. It hints at systems that get progressively safer over time.
Okay, so we've seen the impact for individuals. What about bigger picture stuff? Businesses, developers.
That's where things get really transformative. Greg Brockman emphasized GPT-5 is the best model at agentic coding tasks.
Agentic coding, what does that mean?
Think of it like the AI acting as an autonomous agent. It doesn't just follow one instruction. It can break down a complex goal like build me a website into steps, use tools like browsers or testing environments, work for minutes or even longer, and figure things out along the way.
Wow, like a mini developer working on its own.
Sort of, yeah. A big step towards more autonomous software development.
And for developers using the API.
Lots of new controls for developers. They get 3 models, GPT-5, Mini, and Nano, to balance cost and speed.
Nano, is that new?
Yes, sounds like a smaller, faster, cheaper option. They also added controls like setting the reasoning effort, tell it to be quick, or tell it to think deeply.
More fine-tuning.
Exactly. And better ways to define the output format you need, which makes integration easier. Plus, tool call preambles. The model tells you what it's about to do before it uses a tool, like searching the web.
Like showing its work.
Kind of, yeah. And a verbosity setting, you can ask for super short answers or really detailed ones. Lots more flexibility.
And the coding benchmarks here were strong, too.
Really strong. 74.9% on Swebench, 88% on Aider Polyglot. And interestingly, human reviewers preferred GPT-5's front-end code 70% of the time. Not just for function, but for aesthetics.
Better looking code.
Apparently, and 97% on that Tower Square benchmark for agentic problem solving in telecom. Instruction following was also top-notch across several tests.
And they increased the context window again.
Doubled it, actually, up to 400,000 tokens from 200,000.
What does that mean practically? Like, how much text is that?
It's massive. Think multiple books, huge code bases, very long documents. It means the AI can hold vastly more information in its working memory during a single conversation or task.
So it can handle much more complex, long-running problems without forgetting the beginning.
Precisely. Essential for deep analysis or sustained development work.
We saw some coding demos that sounded pretty wild. Adi Ganesh, Brian Fiocca, Michael Trull from Cursor. What was the main takeaway?
Autonomy and collaboration, really. One demo showed GPT-5 fixing a bug in the Cursor IDE that an older model failed on. It laid out its plan, searched for info, ran tests. It acted like a collaborator.
Not just a code generator.
Right. Another built a complex interactive finance dashboard for a CFO in minutes, something that would take a human days. It wrote good, modular code, even fixed its own mistakes.
And it looked good too, you said.
Yeah, beautiful, tastefully designed, better aesthetics than humans were the quotes. They even had it build a 3D castle game showing off its creativity.
A 3D game. And the Cursor CEO, Michael Truhl, shared his experience using it on their own complex code.
Yeah, he said GPT-5 could understand really subtle, non-obvious architectural decisions in their code base. Things like security hardening choices in just minutes. Stuff that took his human team weeks to grasp.
That's incredible comprehension. So it's not just writing, it's understanding deep code.
Exactly. But they also mentioned what it can't do yet.
Oh, like what?
Things like visually inspecting its own output, like seeing the web page it just built to check it, or performing full quality assurance and extending tasks from minutes, hours to days or weeks. That's the next frontier.
Makes sense. And this all feeds into how businesses and governments can use it, right? Olivier Gaudimin talked about that.
Yeah, he noted 5 million businesses already use OpenAI tech. With GPT-5, they're seeing big impacts. Amgen and life sciences using it for drug design, finding it great for reasoning over complex scientific papers.
Real research impact.
And BBVA in finance used it for analysis, cutting tasks that took weeks down to hours with better accuracy. Oscar Health found it the best for clinical reasoning in healthcare.
So faster, more accurate insights across industries.
Pretty much. And a huge point. 2 million U.S. federal employees are getting access to GPT-5 and ChatGPT. That's massive government adoption.
Wow. And the pricing reflects those different models, GPT-5, Mini, and Nano being significantly cheaper.
Right. Nano is apparently 25 times more affordable than GPT-5, making powerful AI accessible at different scales.
So wrapping up the vision, Jacob Pichocki talked about OpenAI's broader mission.
Yeah, he framed GPT-5 not as the endpoint, but as showing glances of new ideas that they'll push much further. The ultimate goal isn't just better tools, but AI that helps us uncover fundamental knowledge and really meaningfully transform our lives for the better.
A truly ambitious goal.
Driven by a real passion for the potential of AI, it seems.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize all this. What's the big takeaway? GPT-5. It really does sound like more than just the next version number.
Absolutely. It feels like a qualitative shift. That PhD-level expert analogy seems pretty apt across the board. Coding, writing, learning complex topics, even understanding sensitive areas like health data.
So for you listening, how does this actually change things?
Well, think about it. Need to get up to speed on a totally new subject fast. Got a really complex project at work that needs deep thinking or creative input, or even just trying to make sense of complicated personal stuff like medical jargon.
This seems designed to help with all of that.
Yeah, it aims to provide clarity, boost your efficiency, and ultimately empower you with capabilities that were previously out of reach for most people.
Okay, here's a final thought to leave you with, something that really struck me.
Go on.
With GPT-5 able to think, self-correct, and potentially work autonomously on tasks for longer periods, what happens when your AI isn't just reacting to your requests, but becomes a genuinely proactive thought partner, helping you brainstorm, plan, execute, almost like an extension of your own mind across nearly everything you do? What new possibilities does that open up?